Hello everyone, it's TechStack here. So, last night we started on those control groups, right? And I want to take a look at those again, see why it might be not working, because we kind of had to stop because it was getting so late. We left them kind of in an unfinished state. From what I can tell, from what I remember of last night's stream, it should have worked, right? And maybe it is working, and maybe it's something with just the selection of the units, like the highlighting or glowing effect around them, not coming through or something. Possibly. We will have to see here. And hang on a sec. Okay. Hey Eagle. Hey Bluestone. How are you guys tonight? You are number one, Eagle. By just a hair. Okay, that's all up and working. Start the game. Okay. Holy cow. What the heck? We need to kill these things. Apparently I'd left that running for a while. Look at that. Oh, you're just gonna go sleep? Okay, man. Let's not even worry with those. We need to worry about selecting guys, so we need to kill them with a command instead. At E type equals TSRTS minion. Just a few. Okay. Homework fun, yay. Oh, you're sleepy, okay. Understandable. I did wait till pretty late tonight to start streaming, didn't I? We need to spawn some of those guys back in, but on our team. That's why I killed them all. They weren't on our team because of the not saving teams when you unload them. So, please spawn in a few. Am I really on yellow? Team list yellow. I am on yellow right now. You shall be enough, guys. Okay. Select you and hit Control Z. Then select you and you with, I guess, those two still selected, and hit Control X. Okay. Now, if I do Z and then get my command wand out and tell them to move. Can't I hit the number 2 key? Oh no, my keyboard. Really? The 2 key's dead on my keyboard? Oh, whatever. They all moved. Yeah, they all move. I don't think it works. Cool, thank you, man. Hey, Tinkerbell. Right, number 2 wasn't. I can't. No, there it's working. What the heck, Minecraft? Did we accidentally change the key binding for number 2? Yup. There we go. Okay, so that explains that. So in our key press event, I guess I need to look. So handlers, client events, because this only happens on the client side. We are saying selected units. If the control modifier is down, selected units to control group. So that should save them in the control group. If we look at that, it is taking this. Yes, it's taking the selected units and putting them in the control group. Cool. Now, the other side of things, if we hit this key by itself, it should go from control group to the selected units. So reselect them basically. And that is how this is set up. So is it not getting into this piece of the code? And is it not getting into this piece of the code? Let's take a look at that. So I have them all selected, Control Z, and we can see that it does get into that piece of the code. we're going to step over that piece, that line, and we're going to examine this one. It's a hash map of size 1. TechStackDev, it's got selection players and selected units of size 4. So there they are. They are in this control group 1. Okay, so we can get rid of this breakpoint, let the code run. Now if we hit the Z key by itself, it does hit the other breakpoint as well. We're going to step over that line of code. Of course it jumps to the very bottom, but now our current selections is going to be all 4 guys, because that's what we had selected. Maybe we need to restart this test and do this again with fresh guys. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. Let's do it this way. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I'm going to select just one guy. And that one guy selected, I'm going to hit Control Z. And I'm going to select 2 other guys. And then I'm going to hit Z. Okay, so let's step over that line. And look at it again. The player selections now has a size of 1 because it's just me on there. And there's a size of 3 units selected currently. The heck? Those 3. Let's take a look at this. So this player selections, is it static or something? No. Huh. Oops, run the rest of the code. Oh, is that it? Maybe because we're not overriding what was in this before? That's something we can do. We can have like a clear player selections and clear of the control group when we change things. Hey, CZ.
Hello.
Hey. I'm not sure what's up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So we did set them all independently. Did we do it on the other piece as well? 1, 2, 3.
And to answer your question, yes, I've pushed everything to GitHub on my branch.
Cool. I did look at the branch and seen that you changed the sample item as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work. We'll see.
When you give it a different name, it's going to break it all together. So
I changed the model file though to reference the different name.
Right, but my code's still going to reference sample item. I'll update it to make it work because sample item was never intended to be the final name anyway.
Wait, so the sample item.json, that will still get called by your code, right?
It will look for that. I guess maybe
Yeah.
I didn't look in all the places.
So all I did is I uploaded an image and changed the image name is called like command saber or something, but the
Right.
sample item.json is just modified to reference the new image. I didn't change sample
I
item.json.
thought I'd seen the JSON file.
So I think there's like a 60% chance it'll just work.
Well, if that's the case, we're going to have to check it out in a minute. Because I didn't just grab it and run with that because I was afraid it was going to cause a crash or something at first. So let me look at your commit here. This one. So sample, yeah, you're right. Okay, so I was just looking at this name and wasn't looking, I thought you changed this JSON file name. That's what I get for looking at it so quick. Cool. So the new minion file, so if we do view on GitHub here.
Red and blue minion should look different if that will work, and the command wand sample item, whatever it's called, it should be different. and all of the textures that I did last night or this morning. What did I do this morning? I can't remember what I did. But there's a separate commit for each one on my branch. So
Barracks, mine site, soldier. Yeah. Cool. I gotta explain to you how to get a dev environment set up, because as you're doing these, you could just run Minecraft and see if it works. You know what I mean? That way you know if the textures look the way you want them to look. I kind of want to finish this off and see if I can figure out what's going on here, but if it contains that key, so if my name is in the player selections, then we do all this. If it's not, we need to do something about that as well. We need to put my name in there, but there's nothing selected in that case, so there's nothing to save, so that's okay as well. Let's put these breakpoints back, because I'm a little confused as to what's going on. So let's kill this and reload it, so it should clear out the selected units in that case. Okay, let's kill these guys again. Kill at E type. As much as I kill these things, I should create an item that's like the Hand of God, and it just kills all minions in the world. Just right click it, and boom, everybody's dead. Oh, hey Space Engineer, sorry if I didn't say hi. I was not looking at the chat. My chat tool is a little broken tonight. Okay, there's that. We got our sample wand again. And Control Z, that code is running. That's what I don't get. So everything's working except for actually saving. So currently our selections looks like what? It's of size 1. It's for me. And it has 2 units selected currently. They're their IDs. Then control group 1 is also of size 1, it looks like. And has 3 units selected currently from before, because we never cleared this out. Now let's step over that piece of code and then look at the... I think I just realized what's going on. It's size 2. When we step through the other one, it does go to there. Okay, so I was afraid this break statement wasn't in there, but it is. Okay, so control group 1 right now. Did update for our 2 guys that we've got selected. Okay, so let's run. So right now, if I were to close this world maybe and go back into it so it clears out our selections, because I don't have a way of disabling selections right now, and do Z, okay, it's trying to do it. Our player selections is of size 1 with just me in it, and 0 units selected, which is expected. And our control group 1, just me, it's going to get my name and put these 2 people in it. And if we look at player selections now, it has those 2 units. So, are they actually selected? Is the question. They're not. Is it because it's only on the client side? Do we need to send the selection step to the server? Because the server is the one that actually intercepts the move commands and all that. But the client is where the button clicks happen. So, when we right click on a minion now, where are we doing that at? We're doing it on the entity. It's probably on unit entity. And we're saying select units in that case. Okay, select units just does that. Nothing sent to the server. Oh, we do an add on selected units, I guess. Which is just because it's an array. Or a list. That's all there is to it. It doesn't send it to the server at all. But this happens on both client and server. That's what it is. So we don't have a check here. Let's actually put a breakpoint there and confirm that. So what'll happen is if it's both, it'll stop twice with that breakpoint. Double clicking. There we go. Can't stop once. If we look at the, where is it? Stack history. This is the server thread right now. Run it again. Still in the server thread. Either way, it's happening on the server, which is all we need to know. So it's running. Let's do this. We'll do one more click on him. If we look at the player variable, this player variable here, he's going to have a world on it. Where is world at? It's not in alphabetical order. There it is. And that's going to have it is remote. So false means it's the server. Run this again. False is still the server. So it's definitely a server-based thing. We have a class that sends the selections to the client. Some team info, player. No, we don't. Okay, that's what we'll have to do next. We'll have to get some packets to send the selections from the client to the server and from the server to the client. Yay, but first, let's go ahead and commit our changes we've got, which is nothing, because we're just debugging. Let's close this. Let's go to GitHub again. And TSRTS, we want to do a new pull request. And then the pull request we're going to do is into integration from CZ Textures. Create pull request. And it can be automatically merged with no conflicts because we haven't touched the same file. Wait, did you just do more?
I had like...
Oh, I'm looking at it upside down. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought this was a fix, was the most recent, but it's the bottom one's most recent.
Yeah, it's in reverse. So I did town hall fixes last night as you were streaming.
Gotcha. We'll merge in CZ Textures. Okay, and now on integrations, we will let IntelliJ here, rebuild everything. We can take a look at the textures as well. So the minions should be different for, you said blue, right? He doesn't look different. Oh, I know why. Helps if I fetch from the origin. Then pull them from, download it from the GitHub yet. There we go, now it changed. Now we need to recompile. And let's run this. There you go. Oh, and earlier we got another subscriber on YouTube, which is awesome.
Did you used to be at 1,000 subscribers when you had regular series?
No. I've been slowly gaining over time. And then when I stopped doing anything for a while, it basically levels off because people will subscribe and then someone else will either have their account deleted or unsubscribe or something, because that's you'll lose subscribers.
But you didn't actually see a dip after you stopped releasing regular videos?
Not a significant one. Like I said, every once in a while somebody would no longer be subscribed, whether they got deleted or whatever. Okay, so something doesn't like something. It crashed the game altogether. Render overlay, what? That shouldn't be it.
The minions, the blue minion has an overlay layer. Well, both of them have overlay layers.
Oh, okay.
I figured that if you were rendering like a player object, you could use the full, like the full player skin, but maybe that's only applicable for actual players.
Looks like it also doesn't like something about the command saber's path. Character in the path, blah blah blah. Let's look at that one first, because that's probably easier to fix. So this. Items command saber. Unless it's that capital S. Typically I find most of these JSON files in Minecraft always want lowercase everything. Let's save that.
Well, the image matches the JSON, but maybe like you said, it needs to be a lower S.
Yeah. Old versions had to be lower. I don't know about the newer versions. So I just renamed both of those. Let's see if it runs now.
That one is also 32 by 32, so that
Okay.
I don't know if that would cause issues too.
It looks like a katana.
Yeah, I just
In
like
this, in Minecraft,
grabbed
might be
something
different.
that was a saber and went with that. We can change it all later.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of going with was a staff. Like a king would have a staff or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought staff at first, but then I didn't know if you would command people with a staff. You kind of
True.
there's not an analog to that in real life. So the closest thing that I could think of was if you were a king riding with forces, you would probably have some sort of big sword like that you would point with.
The only
It's more of a trident.
A trident.
Almost like kind of like a trident.
the concern I might have is, do we make that an actual weapon then? Because people are gonna see it as a weapon, and then it's gonna do like poop attack.
Well, a bow staff would also be known as a staff, though.
What I just said, I meant the saber, sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the bow staff.
No, not that kind of staff. Like a scepter.
Oh.
It's doing that. Is there transparency at all in the picture? Because Minecraft doesn't do transparency on the items, and now I just want to whack these guys with this thing.
There is transparency on Well, I think there's transparency on the
like
picture.
semi-transparent pixels. Fully transparent are fine because they'll just not be there, but semi-transparent
Below the stone.
start to do these things.
Wait, so the tiny little air gaps, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that could be that. That below stone.
I don't know if any of them have decreased. Like I didn't actually modify that at all. I just wanted you to use something that wasn't a yellow stick.
Yeah, that was. I don't get why this is always never giving me the item I pick up, but whatever. Okay, so the other stuff. Blue minions, right? That's what it is?
Blue and red.
Mine sight's there. Oh, dang it. And that says mine sight to me. Having a big, what you call on top of it? Red, green, blue. Yeah, they all work. Let's check the bottom textures. Bottom textures there. Blue. Red. Green. Yellow. Yeah, I think mine sight's working great. Barracks. You said blue, right? So, blue. Oh no, don't attack him! No! Oops. Let's just kill everybody. Kill at E type.
Oh, and he does look different too. He doesn't have his overlay.
I may not have it set up to do an overlay.
Looks like it overlaid his head, and that was about it.
Yeah, and I need to
Like
fix
the
his
ones I
hair.
could
So
kinda
it's,
get.
I wanted him to have gray hair and a white beard, and he kind of has just brown hair and a white beard. It didn't translate well.
And we can't see his pants because I'm still spawning with armor.
Oh, and then when you scale the whole entity down, it like scales down the texture too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot
Okay.
of the texture runs out. Try doing a baby zombie, because I believe that's the same size. I don't know what you can quite do on that on scaling wise.
Zombies actually use the same texture for both. So that's how they do this, right? They
No.
set the full grown texture and it just scales down. Like this is the player texture
Modified
format.
it. Because the regular head doesn't fit on the zombie baby.
You're saying it's a
I
different
remember
head.
them modifying it. They've modified it so it has less blocks.
Oh, come on. Eventually we'll get a baby, right? It's still the same texture though. Might have less blocks in it, like you're saying, but it's not.
They've redone the texture on it, I'm pretty sure. Because the old skin did not fit when they tried shrinking it down like they did.
Oh, I didn't notice any different when I just spawned them in. Hey, Zach. I like that they're going to be unique. Does he have like a... Stop looking at me so I can look at your head. Like an earring on his ear?
yeah,
Like a pirate?
he has. He's supposed to have a couple earrings, but the texture does not look good when it's scaled down like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Even with the big one, it's kind of hard to tell what that is.
there's no way to prevent it from scaling down though, unless you just have less pixels in it, right? In which case we have to redo the whole texture.
Is it 16 by 16? Is that what his head is?
No,
it's 8 by 8.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep.
Literally the same texture file that you'd have for a player.
Yeah, but So I gave the same texture file as a player, but I think the head on a player is 16 by 16, and that's 8 by 8. So it's like you have half as many pixels.
There's nothing that says that these guys have to be little. I just thought it was funny.
No, I think they should be little.
Originally, they were going to be the player's skin, so it would have my skin on it, right now. That way you know whose they were, but it doesn't really matter who they are.
On vanilla, we could do it the other way.
Can you spawn in a red minion too? We can see what he looks like, because I can't remember what that one looks like.
Oh, you changed him too?
I did that one first by just downloading a skin because I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't modify it at all.
That works.
Blue's going to attack it.
Yeah. We'll just give red a little bit of an advantage here. He lives then.
I think that's cheating just a little there, attack.
Oh well. We need to see this guy. He looks very angry. Those eyebrows. Like and being shirtless like that, he almost looks like a berserker or something.
Does he have iron pants on?
Yeah, he has iron armor, shield, and bow. Okay, let's change it so it doesn't work. Do that anymore. Because that was just me testing. Utilities probably is where it's at, because that's where everything is, and look for the right method name on unit. So we're setting this stuff up here. And let's spawn a... Where are you stopped at now? Oh, it was probably still compiling. Let's make sure it builds.
So to get the command saber to work, did you have to make that lowercase?
Yes, because that made it not crash.
Okay. Uppercases in JSON make it crash. Got it.
Oh, he's yellow. I must not have got in time. We still have... Oh, I need to restart the game for it to take effect. Okay.
So I'm thinking red will be kind of Roman themed, blue will be Viking, and then I don't know what green and yellow will be.
Green can be jungle people.
Jungle people.
I don't know. Yellow can be the pea people.
The pea people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, you told somebody that she wants pink, so...
There's 4 teams, I've decided officially, because I need room for all the buttons and everything. So
I thought we talked about getting rid of yellow and making it pink.
But that's the pea people. Come on.
Yeah, pink people.
She can make a texture pack, right? I just think that pink will be too close to red when you're in combat.
I don't know.
Come on, please run the game, actually. Pink was... Oh, it can't run the game because of that extra slash I put there by mistake. Or, yeah, that's running. Is there anywhere in Minecraft that there's a drop-down box? Like a drop-down selection? I don't think there is. Because that would be the alternative to like having a button for each team. Is pick from the drop-down and then hit ready or whatever.
The only thing I can think of is like the achievement command where it's L, I want to say. You press L and all the achievements come up. Kind of use that technique for doing extra commands or something. Clicking on stuff.
Hey, look at it.
I don't know how that would transform back to server-wise.
So where in this?
It's the achievement command.
Yeah, I'm in here.
So I can't think of what button it is. I think it's L.
Yeah. So L brings up the advancements. And on these, there's no drop downs at all. It's just icons for everything.
What I'm saying is you can click on the icons and use that as a function.
So it's
If
just
you wanted
image
your
buttons,
units
huh?
to do a function.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about at all. So if I kill myself here so I can get the menu back up. The lobby menu. This. So you need a way of selecting a team. And if we had all 16, that's 16 buttons, right? So that's why I'm like, 4 teams is enough. Plus, we're not going to need that many teams anyway. We'll lag the server if we get that many people. Or that many teams, I guess. So there they are without pants. This guy still got pants because he's old. Got you.
I think I like the barbarians with pants.
Yeah, those are like hot shorts they have on CZ.
Yeah.
If I do this, will they stay and behave?
Yeah, I might need to give them pants. They're supposed to be Spartans,
Okay.
and so they kind of all just look like Leonidas.
And then if I do another one of these, trying to make it so we can have all 4 colors together, or 3 colors, I guess, without them trying to kill each other. Barracks block and blue. And while we wait, they fell in
Sister
there.
had a good idea. How about Egyptians for yellow?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be good, and I
Yeah.
can do that in Minecraft. So
I guess that works for yellow then.
So Roman, Vikings, Egyptians, and green. Oh, they can actually reach
Mayans.
across the block. That's interesting.
The Mayan people.
Yep, Mayan or Aztec. That's kind of jungly.
Yep, that works.
the problem is, to really do this right, I'm gonna have to look up Mayan or Aztec architecture. I think I crashed the build server, by the way.
Should auto restart. If it doesn't, that means it's stuck crashing over and over.
Yeah, I set a 500 by 500 platform floating in the sky. And the lighting
yeah.
updates, I
Yep.
think, are killing it.
That's exactly what it would be. I'm starting up my Minecraft, see if I can get in.
Yeah, I should have just done it on the super flat level. I forgot about Minecraft lighting engines.
So I think the mine site block looks great. I think the barracks block looks great. The town hall was another change you made.
Town Hall was just a fix for the bottom. So it should look exactly the same as last night. What I want to see is if we can get the entity, the target entity, to work. And I don't know why Town Hall... I don't know why it's not showing up in the item menu.
So we need to add a JSON file for it. So if we go into the items,
yeah,
you'll
I
see
got it.
barracks block, mine site block, and then we need another one there that's town hall block. And it just points back to the block model. That makes sense. Okay, so the build server shows it's up. Joining world. And there is the hugest, darkest area of Minecraft.
Yeah, I need that to not be there anymore, but it might just be there now.
Oh my gosh, this can't be 500 blocks, can it?
I did 150. It should be 500. I did 150 to 650, and minus 250 to
Oh, there's
350.
that. Jeez, that's
It's-
huge.
It is huge, but we needed a huge platform so I could start laying out all of the structures. In my head, in my head, I thought, well, I'll just make it too big. But
Gotcha.
then I forgot about the lighting updates.
Yeah, it probably just crashed because of the tick time. If it takes too long, Minecraft will just kill it. Now, what that means is if you update these down underneath, I don't know if it's going to cascade across and realize that the whole thing's dark where it hasn't actually lit it yet, because it only lit about, I don't know, 20, 30 blocks into it.
Well, I want to delete it and just put it on the ground level now, so I'm going to try and do
Okay.
that.
It might just crash a couple times if it does. If it does, it should auto restart. That's why I did it that way. Okay, so back in here. So town hall block. I think like I'm gonna merge this stuff into my branch so that I've got it, and then just go back to my branch and start working on the selection stuff some more. Okay, so I'm gonna push up my changes I just made to the integrations branch if you want to pull them for yours. Let's see. Yeah. Corrections to JSON and removing pants of minion. Oop. Okay, so integrations now has an update on GitHub. Go into the main thing, integrations, let's create a new pull request. We're going to put it into dev work from integrations. So we're going to pull the changes we just put into our version, basically. Okay, it says it can be merged automatically. That means there's no conflicts. Confirm merge. Okay, so now if I go into dev work and fetch from origin, and pull origin, we can see the integration merge just happened. Nope, we can click there, and in here now, we should have our utilities being modified for all of the new stuff we just added last night. Hobby stuff, control groups, cool. But yet we should still have the changes that CZ made. Command saver, yeah, cool. So everything's all together now on my branch. I think I also need to have a deselection option. So I've got select unit. Already selected. If we want this to be a toggle, this is where we do it. Okay, let's remove it. So can we actually remove it? Dot remove entity ID. Let's see if that works. We need to run Minecraft. Oh, Did you do it in smaller updates or something?
No, I just undid it. For some whatever reason. It worked that time.
Cool. Where are you, new Minecraft? Still? Yeah, it's still loading. One of these nights I might have to like go on the sound website I use, the music website I use, and just start playing new stuff and seeing what we want to keep out of it. Okay, so we need to spawn some more minions. Here, you just both fall in a pit. Kill each other. Yeah, that's right. Boop. Actually, let's get a couple of them so I can mess around with them. Select you, and we crash. Cool. Index out of bounds. Really? Oh. That's taking the index, which we don't have. Okay, so dot. We want that one. Is that even going to let us do that? Or is it going to assume it's the other one because it's... We're trying to remove an integer. Well, phooey. Dot... Contains returns nothing, just a boolean. Can we get where it's at in there? Remove if might be an option. So it's going to take a predicate filter. Still going to loop through the entire selection set though. We could just loop through the selection set ourselves. We're doing this. Just doing remove. So we do this here dot iterator, and this we don't care about. IT while it has another one, we're going to do this loop. Probably need to define that as a int in this case. Nope. It dot get no what is it? Gotta get. Options next element. Okay. So entity ID. Current ID equals that. Int. If current ID equals entity ID, then it dot remove. But it doesn't like this. Why? Incompatible types to object. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, that's awesome, Susie. Just replacing the ground made it so that there's no lighting updates, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. I need a blue banner. For now, all of the buildings are going to be the same, but over the next couple weeks, I might just create completely new build styles, but keep the same build volume for each one of these different colors.
Yes. And as far as I'm concerned, the most important part is the footprint. If you need it to be a different height, I'm not going to be concerned about that. Or, like, if this flag was 3 blocks lower, but we still had the bounding box be the same, that's fine. Because I'll check for the bounding box to make sure that that's clear, but it doesn't have to actually touch the blocks to the top of the bounding box. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Shorter buildings, okay.
But I'll definitely keep the footprint the same. I'll probably keep the same height on each one of them, even though I'm probably not going to use it for each one. Well, I'll probably try and make them all roughly the same height, at least for most structures, because I could see that being an advantage if your structures just aren't as visible for one certain race. But for now, they're just all going to be the same.
True. Yeah, if they're, like this one, if it's 1 block lower, no one's gonna make that saying that's unfair or anything, right? That's what I was getting at. If they're roughly the same, it should be fine. I guess the other aspect is these things need to be fairly placed, right? Meaning you've got walls on 2 sides of this, so the minions from here can't shoot an arrow that direction as easy. Right, at that one. So having something similar. You're fine.
As long as the same dimensions are used and the same cover area for the health of the buildings is the same, it shouldn't matter a whole bunch. So for like example, if you used a pyramid and you use the blocks inside the pyramid or something, again, overall effect of the game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The footprints should be the same, and where the target entities are, they should have about the same amount of cover, if any. Right. Like we wouldn't want to put the target block in the middle of the pyramid inside of it, right? But this one's on the outside.
I'm back, and I plan on keeping the target blocks at exactly the same position for each structure color. Like if reds, I put them on the corners and in the middle here, then blue is going to have the same number and they're going to be exactly the same spots. We'll start off that way.
Yep.
We had Vikings, Romans.
Romans, Vikings, Egyptians, and
Aztec or Mayan. Aztec or Mayan for them.
It depends on if I can find a build style that would work for those.
Well, like
and skins.
Mayans have the temples, right? As well. Like the pyramid style of structure with stairs going up the front. So instead of doing it with sandstone, you would be doing it with cobble.
I'll see cobble.
Yeah, mossy cobble would be good. Vines on it, that type of thing. Really, the jungle temple in Minecraft would work for the style of one of their buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's finally compiling. I don't know what's up with this. This is the second time I've had this IDE complain about the imports, and they've been 100% correct, and I just hit space and then backspace over it, and it works. But it gives me a compile error until I do that. I might have to figure out what's wrong with my Eclipse and go back to Eclipse if those type of little things keep continuing, because it drives me nuts. Breaks my workflow and slows me down.
That one, Tech.
Just annoying to me that it gives me an error message about my code that's perfectly right. If I just change that line, it's happy about it. Change it to exactly what it is. Like I could probably copy or cut and paste that line, and it would be happy. Okay, so all of that, I forgot what we were working on now. Dang it. Oh, I clicked on one of the guys and it crashed. What, didn't I? Okay, it's no longer crashing, but it's not selecting him either. Why? Or is it selecting him and then deselecting him? I bet that's what's happening. I think we seen this was getting ran twice. For whatever reason. So let's do this. tsrts.logger. Ah! Logger. Is it uppercase? Is that what's wrong? It is. Info. Select. And we'll say up here, deselect. We'll save that. We'll compile that. Okay. Okay, now it's reloaded. So now if I click on, say, U, and go to our console, where's our console? Okay, there we go. Select, select, deselect, select. Boom. Select, deselect, deselect, select. It's getting ran more than once. Oh, is it because that event happens as long as you have the button down? Let's... These guys out of there. It does. Look, he's blinking on and off because I'm holding the button down. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, so one's the client, one's the server, so we do know that that's happening on both now. Apply player interaction. To debug why this is called twice to allow for unselecting. I even put a note to myself and forgot about it. So, we know why it's called twice. I don't like why it's called twice. If I copy that and do a search for that, I'm going to search for all code, please. No, can I jump to the superclass? Go to implementations, declaration, super method. There we go. So it just automatically does a pass. This is on the base entity itself.
Are structure voids entities?
F3. Look at them. Wherever you are.
Target fluid Minecraft :empty. Target block Minecraft structure void. So they're blocks.
Yeah.
They're not popping up on my new spawns.
Well, they're not gonna copy. The structure void won't copy when you load it.
Oh, that's true. I'll have to manually place the structure voids on all these.
Which is a pain because you have to get it in the right spot. But I guess on this, it's pretty easy. It's where that log is. It's just one block over.
Yeah, it's just hard on the rubble part to figure out where that needs to be.
I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
Right there.
How was it working before if the structure void wasn't there?
Structure void was there for the two that we tested.
Okay.
And then I placed them over here because this iron zone is going to be my new master.
Okay.
We didn't have blue or yellow before, we only had red and green.
Yeah,
And
this
then I
looks cool.
saved over red.
This looks cool like this, but it's gonna look even cooler when we get the other style incorporated. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
It's
Aztec.
gonna look great once they're all different.
And it will be very obvious like what you need to attack then too. In addition to like the yellow targets will be their team colors and stuff too. It will be perfect.
The next big mod.
And if I left click, that punches them. So left clicking is not an option. You can't click fast enough reliably. Can you? Maybe you can. I mean, with the highlighting, that if the highlighting is there, let's see if we've got only highlighted guys selected actually. Go there, minions. We do. So if you hold it down, they'll blink back and forth, but does that matter? I don't think it does. Guys I unselected are not interested anymore. That's perfect. Those guys are all trying to go through the same spot at the same time. They can't. There we go. Single file, one at a time now. Share. Come on. Okay, so if I go down in here and say none of you are selected. Gosh, if I click on them enough. Stop moving, you fools! Oh, I need to do this too. Getting a ridiculous amount of them. So you stay. Why can't I select them anymore? There. Had to hold it down to unselect it. Maybe that's what we do. Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay. Right click will be select, and shift right click will be deselect. Perfect. That way we have an easy way of denoting which way we want to go. And it always will work 100% reliably then. So let's go into this code. We're going to take out the selecting part, or deselecting part of this, and create a new method that does the same thing, but unselects. Public static void unselect unit, or deselect unit we'll call it. And the string player scoreboard name entity ID, and we need to do this first check we have here. Like that. And that should take it for us then. No. Need an extra bracket. Okay. And we don't need to worry about this anymore, because we're instead going to look to see if they're shifting. So we'll say, no, not there. Not in here, it's on the entity itself. If player dot is shifting, sneaking. If they are not sneaking, then we will select, and if they are sneaking, we will deselect. Ta-da! Ah, you're making good progress on this. Okay, so that does it. I probably should only make the selections on the server and then send a packet to the client. Should be the other thing I should do. Right? It's in team packet info. I think that's just the resources, yeah. So if we have one set up to do player selections, which is just an array of integers, that's all we really have to do. Let's run this first, 'cause I think this might work in a state where I select 3 or 4 guys, put them on control group 1, deselect them all, and then hit the button to select control group 1. They should all become selected again, in theory. is glowing. It's basically checking to see if the local selection has been made for that entity ID. Or not. Okay. Night Space Engineers. We need more guys that are on our team. Hey, Spiderman, no worries. Kill at E. Type. Minions, kill all the minions, please. There we go. Barracks. Let's make the barracks out here so we can actually command them around. Okay, our control button is not mapped again. There we go. So let's select them all. Let's deselect one. Can't select them again, and holding down right click without shifting keeps them selected. Okay, so they're all selected. I'm going to Control Z, deselect them all, and then hit Z. And none of them show up as selected. Player selection is size 1. And there's nobody selected. How is that possible? Is it a server thing? Client side. So in the client events, if I do this, it's not down, so it'd be this one. And it should be this specific line of code. So let's do that again. Hit Z. Does trigger my breakpoint. Let's go into that one. Depends what you mean by memory is full. If you mean your hard disk, you have to clean up some stuff. If you mean RAM, you might need to close some other programs. So there's nothing in the control group 1 right now. Interesting. Okay, that might give me some insights as to what it is, but let me test some things here first. So let's select some guys and then hit Z. Okay, so we're gonna run past this one. We don't even need that breakpoint there, actually. This now has what in it? 1 selected. Gotcha. So we need to copy this instead of put it, because apparently it's keeping a pointer to the other one or something. It appears. And it's not just there we do it in. It's in here as well. So this will tell us which one to put it in. This will be what we're putting in. So we can take this and say, what is this? I forget. What type is it? It's type B. Okay, so we've got to do this. Player selection class. Put your name in the iron block and my resource pack. Okay. Not sure how you do that, but okay. Okay, I got the name of this thing now. So player selections equals active selections equals that. And we're going to put the active selections into there. Okay. And then the inverse kind of thing needs to be done on the other piece too. Okay. I actually did take the steel block and just change it to make my block. That's why they look so close together. Oh, we want the client event is what we want. Oops. B. Okay, we want the deselect one, this one. So in this case, we're gonna create it and then just set it inside there and call the put at the very end. So player selections, and we'll say act selection equals that, and we want to do it like that. Why does it jump on me like that? I know that it's going to cause errors when I make changes to code. But you don't need to change my scroll position. I'll take that, put it outside of the switch statement. Then we can take this piece and paste it in everywhere it needs to be. Catch them stars, man. Okay, and then we do act active selection goes here. Really? Change what you had on my clipboard, huh? You're gonna error off because it hasn't been initialized. Cool. These are valid packages. Don't error off for any of them. Okay, that's why it's airing off over there. There we go, I pasted something I shouldn't have. Now those should go away. Active selections is still an issue because it's not set, so what if we set it to null? Now you're happy. Okay, so let's close this. I'm pretty sure with all that, it probably told me it couldn't hot swap at some point. Does the stream not make sound when someone chats anymore? No, my tool is broken. They're having problems with their site or something. I tried going to the dashboard like it said, and it did not like it. Look at you even put the gold blocks down. Isn't there 3 states of the barracks?
There's only 2 states of the barracks.
I thought we were gonna have 3 for everything, but maybe I didn't actually make it. That's very possible.
No, we only made the broken down or the like completely depleted version of it.
Yeah. Spiderman, that's a completely different tool is why that's still working.
Do we need to standardize that each one has 3 states right now?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if in my code I made it so that they all try and cycle through 3. And if it's missing one, what happens? Let me look real quick. Maybe in the tile entity, actually. So it's probably going to be looking for it. The wrong piece of code altogether.
So what would be cool is if you could go based off the structure names, and then I could name it Barracks Red 80, and then you would go at 80, or I'd change it to 50.
Yeah.
But
No.
we can just create 3 states of it for now. I don't.
I could easily override it if we needed to and just have a standard as 3 and then 2, if there's 2, just override the method.
I mean, it probably makes sense to have a minimum of 3. If you want to show that it's been damaged, and then you want to show that it's been destroyed.
Yeah. And something like the barracks is going to be harder for it to deal with it, right? Because they're only going to have the 2 health blocks anyway. So half damage is one of them dead. Full damage is both of them dead. So full health is both of them alive. So it's like very corresponding to the actual state of each thing. Whereas like the town hall, that one probably makes sense to have more stages in it, because A, it's bigger, and B, you kill one of the targets and nothing happens. You kill another one, still nothing happens. You kill a third, still nothing happens. You kill the fourth, nothing happens, and then like you take a whack at the other one, something should start to happen. That type of deal, right? You see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of damage you deal to it before it shows it. But I'm also not saying we need to change anything yet, because I think 3 is probably enough.
Yeah, I think a lot of these small ones, like all of the mine sites, they probably only just need a pristine and a ruined.
Okay.
The ones that only have 2 target blocks,
Right.
it kind of makes sense to just have a pristine and ruined.
I'm not looking to see that a target block is destroyed. I'm looking to see the total health across all the target blocks has gone below a threshold. So if it takes 3 hits to hit all of the... to kill them, if you go around and hit on the town hall them all twice, you'll be at, you know, the half destroyed state. Like, let's just test that, make sure we got it right. Town hall. Myself a diamond sword. One, two, 1, 2. There it is. So I didn't even get all the way around the building and it's already damaged looking. But I haven't actually killed any of the targets. Just damaged them all. I still need to make these things flash too. You hit them, so it's more visual feedback.
Well, we need to figure out how to make those textures work too.
Yeah.
I want to see if we actually want to leave them as an X, or if we want to try some sort of bullseye, or if we need to rethink it entirely.
Yeah, worst case scenario, they become the color and don't have any real texture to them. But I think we'll probably be able to figure it out. All the items. Need to make these things not drop items too. Blocks break. There it goes, it disappeared. Okay, so we were testing the, or working on the selection code. I think the selection code is probably working now though. Let's test it. Need another barracks. Oh, you're watching Phoenix's stream? Oh, I see how it is. You like him better, huh? It's okay, man. Cool. So Spooderman, was it you needed to close out some other programs or something? Okay, so those guys will be in control group 1. If I shift right click. Oh, you didn't know I was live. I said something on Discord and Twitter. And YouTube should have sent a notification, but we know how that is. So, control group Z. Nothing is working. Dang it. Okay, let's put our breakpoints back in, see, figure out why. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it, having lots of stuff open. So let's select this guy, and this guy, Control Z. And our active selections is what? It's showing us 4 people right now. Why? Why? There's not 4 people selected. Player selections. Or is there? No, there's 3. And that says 5. Are we not removing them properly? But they're getting unhighlighted somehow? Okay, let's come into here and we have breakpoint. So when we deselect one, we'll get a notification here. I'm gonna deselect you, dude. And you have custom splash text in your resource pack. That's cool. But step over that, and we look at this. Watch. Where's the watch key? Size 5 right now. I bet it's because we need to put it back into this for it to take effect. Okay. So we can hit play here. It does get down to that spot. Our selected units is size 5 right now. You step over that piece of code, it does go down to 4. Okay, and then when I hit Control Okay, it's trying to do it again. It's 4. Still 4, okay. Now when I hit Control Z, our selected units right now is size 4, even though there's 2 selected on the screen. What the heck? Why is it so big? Those other people aren't there. Whatever, we'll run with it for now. Want to get this and watch this piece. Size 4. It's size 0 right now. So nothing is selected. Select 1. We can't select 1, okay. There we go. And now, Control Z, active selections is size 2. It's been added twice to the list because it already is there, and that's probably what's helping throw this off. Okay, so it's the same entity ID. I didn't realize that before. So when we do selection, we need to see if it's already in the selection. Which we are. Returns true if this list contains the specified element. More formally, returns true if and only if the list contains at least one element, e that equals null or e equals null or object dot equals e. Okay. The element whose presence in the list must be tested returns true if a list contains specified element. So this piece of code here to select twice should never happen, but it did somehow. I may have accidentally kind of maybe deleted your mod when I was clearing files. Uh-oh. Get rid of these breakpoints now. Select. Control Z. Control Z. Size 2. Weird. Okay, so that's... Let's deselect you. Select you. So there's once. And there's the second time. Right? Selected units. Watch. Size 1. So how does this return true then? Or false, I mean. No, it returns true, but it's still there. Let's just break wherever we are in the code. No. No. Didn't want you to go into the Java classes. I want you to go into the Minecraft classes. Dang it. So now when I hit Control Z, there's 2 selected. 2 of the same, right? There's 2 of the same entities selected, which is weird to me. Watch this, and it's 2 selected. Weird, 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 weird. It's got me in it, and under me, it's got the size of 2. If I deselect, well, I mean, it'll make Minecraft use less memory that way. It's probably not what you wanted to do, though. Nothing selected. Okay, it added it once. Now if I hit Control Z, size is still 2, and I'm gonna pull my hair out, and I don't know why, because it's driving me bonkers. That's why.
You can always come and just repeatedly paste in some structures with me, because we have to do all of the mine sites for every team color. We're going to have to make a bunch of structures. If you want to take a break from coding and get back to blocking.
Whoa, you just shifted everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to appease my inner OCD, and
I hope that doesn't screw with your
make everything line up.
structure blocks. We'll find out. See, these don't even have the entities in them, do they? Oh, that's because you're killing them. Never mind. Still gotta hit him 3 times.
I just gotta figure out where they go.
Eagle says looking good. They're at the very corner of the structure, it looks like. Summon. RTS. Nope, that's the wrong guy. Come back here. So select. How can it be selected more than once? It's getting called once? Okay, let's just restart Minecraft one more time. Go to the console. No, don't run like that. No. Cancel. Terminate you. I don't want you to run like that. Like this. That starts. Okay, so sword again. I don't know why I keep losing my inventory every time in this world, but I do. You all get in the pit of despair, please. Or die. That's fine.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, when these guys spawn in, we'll break the blocks so we don't get too many of them. Okay, select you. There is what in our selections currently? It is size 0. Run this. It only happened once. With this one guy selected, Control Z. The active selections right now is what? Watch. Size 1. Step. There is nothing in our control group 1, right? Where's that at? It is null right now. So we are going to instantiate this, I guess. We're going to step over that. Now it's got a size 1 with a value of 63 in it, just like the active selections, which is just like the player selections. Okay, perfect. Let's continue on through the code. Let's deselect a guy. That crashed it. Cool. So there's a bug somewhere. there's a null somewhere. In utilities 170. Really?
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. What am I doing wrong in this? While it has next. Huh? On 170. That was a null. But has next was true. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't work on this part of the code right at the moment. Because it's making no sense to me. It's doing things that the code is... Like, I'm checking if there's a next for this, and then using next, and it gave me an error. About that. We'll put a breakpoint in here, and we'll see what the values are coming through this. Never thought the selecting of units would be the hardest part. It's turning into it.
Mine site block is what I need to place in the middle of the mine site.
Yes. Well, that's part of my problem, Spiderman. I'm not quite sure. Like, it just crashed on me. I know that happened, but what I'm trying to say is, in programming, when you're trying to do something and it's not working as you expect it, you need to be able to explain the way it's working and the way that it's supposed to work. I know how it's supposed to work, but I can't figure out how it's working because it seems to be doing it different each time. And that's why I'm testing the way I am. Once I can understand what it's doing, I can then understand, because I understand what I need it to do, I can figure out how to make that move from one to the other. Guess because it's crashing, it's not saving my inventory, huh? It's annoying too. Well, I need to fix the bug I'm on right now, Eagle. We need to set up all the structures. We need to have things have cost. So the minions need to pay for them, basically, right? Basically, Spooderman, if you can't explain it to a rubber ducky so the rubber ducky would understand, you're not doing it right. And I can't right now. And yes, I mean a toy rubber ducky. Okay. So now if I select this, what happens? We are stuck on some piece of code, this line here, okay? And we know the selection is going to select it at least once, and here it is trying to select it again, this time on the server side. I step over that, and our selection size goes to 2. Again, confusing. Now, if I right-click, shift right-click, this is where it crashed a second ago. This is on the server thread. Okay, so that didn't have anything in its selection. Or at least it didn't have the entity ID we passed in, which was 59. Which if we were to kind of hover over that, if I just watch that. It's size 0. Okay, so we'll just play through that. It's size 0, so we're gonna step through, shouldn't find it. And he's unselected. Well, you need a specific version of the mod, Eagle. And you need Forge installed in 1.14. So get Forge installed and then let me know, and I'll try and find the right version of the mod you need. Where you can download it from. Let's select him. Get rid of everything, man. You know, I'm just gonna... Is there a way I can disable all breakpoints? I don't know if there is. Mute breakpoints, sure. Oop. Okay. Nothing selected. Control Z. Let's see. Let's play the breakpoints. Our active selections is what? Nothing as it should be. So then this becomes nothing. Yes. Okay, so we can unselect things. Let's select you and add you to control point 1 or group 1. Active selections 2 units. Should be 1. They're the same unit, so that's fine, but inefficient. That could be. That'd be weird though. Okay, now about this. So control group 1 is size 2. Okay, so it's all good. Okay, now let's make another selection. Yes. Let's deselect you.
I wonder what happens if you save a structure with a player entity inside it. You think it just ignores that?
That's a good question. Like, it can't spawn you in, right?
Yeah, it can't move me there or spawn me in. I wonder, it must just ignore it. There's no way that they just, like a bug like that would still exist. I bet they forgot to do that initially.
I don't know. That's probably something that, like, they would even come across accidentally testing it. Like if they were just standing inside the bounding box and click the button.
Yeah, like I wouldn't think to check for that if I was programming this
Mhm.
until we just randomly come across it. So I bet it was in one of their early like weekly alpha builds or something, and they realized that, oh, we're either crashing or creating a blank player entity.
Okay, so I saved that guy to control group 2. Let's deselect him. Yeah, you like as playtesting it, you really learn a lot of stuff that you should have done differently. At least I do. But they probably also have code reviews and stuff, and test teams that they do internally, right? Because they're not just one man anymore.
Could we call the same rubble state structure for each mine site?
You have the banners in them.
Well, this is just stone. I have to do this 3 more times because we have 3 other mines.
I thought you meant the different teams.
So the red iron rubble is going to look exactly like this. So I'm not going to put iron blocks here. You can tell it was red, you can tell it was a mine. That's all that the ruined thing needs to do.
I think it's
so
okay.
I would like all of it to just call this same structure. So it'd be stone red 0.
I think it'll be okay. Worst case is I'll just copy and paste the files. Once I have the stone red, the stone blue, stone green, all that, I can just copy and paste the files.
Yeah, so I
to the
have
other
those,
names,
and then
and
all I
stuff.
need to do now is create the pristine version of the other mine sites for each team.
Yes. Or
Because even when I go to change the build style of some of these, the mine sites are all basically going to look the same no matter what I end up turning them into.
only thing I was thinking was, could we, with the tile entity, just look for the cobble and change the cobble to iron? Just to make it easier, but I don't know if that's any easier.
It's just, I'm just trying to shave off time here, spawning in a bunch more structures.
Yeah. I guess, could you, select here on the ground in this corner, select over there, and just world edit this whole thing in again, and then just change the 5 blocks that you want to. Search for cobble, change it to iron, boom, done.
Well, I didn't change all cobble to iron to do the previous ones. Let me spawn it in.
I get what you're saying. I guess that wouldn't copy the entities if you just use world edit, right? That doesn't copy entities at all. Okay, so
For gold, it has fewer ores, and then the ores, like there's still some cobble there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I thought that looked better.
So I've got what selected now? So my active selections are null. I'm going to set what active selections is. So our control group 1 has nothing in it right now. How? TechStackLP. Are we not calling these with the same name? That would be awful.
What's not the same name?
Oh, in my code, not on that server. Yeah, that's the same name though. So there's nothing in control group 1 right now. Again, driving me nuts. let's just turn these off. And nothing gets selected when I hit Z or X. I can do it when I right click on this guy. Where does the selection thing work at as far as the glow? Is that a client thing? Is that a server thing? Client thing. And a server thing. Okay, so let's stop this whole thing. Let's, is there a window that tells me where all the breakpoints are? Kind of need to find them all. I guess we go to utilities and look for. Okay, so what's this packet even look like? Got a name and it's got a control group number being passed into this, but the name we can defer from who's sending it from the client to the server. So we would just need the control group number. We do not have a side on this though, if it's remote or not. We can name this client. Client control group. So this will be the client version. This will be the client version, which means our entity select is just going to be our client. It's here. The word client in. Yeah. Okay, so that only gets called on the client. We're good there. Then when we go to select a unit and deselect a unit, can do that on the server and then pass back. So server and server. Okay. Then in here we can do this only on the server side. Player. World.isRemote. If it is not remote, that means we're on the server, so do all that on the server. Okay. Which means we're not selecting on the client anymore, which means we need to send back a packet then. So these need to fire off packets to say what's selected to that player that did the selection. So we need to pass the player to these methods as well. Which is doable. Oh, come on. Player. Okay, then we need a new packet altogether. So selection update to client or whatever the heck it'll say. Player selection changed. Packet to client. Okay, so we don't need is ready. We don't really need the player entity, I don't believe. Yeah, we don't. Instead, we need a public int array entity IDs. Okay, so then we say what here? We need a length, so int length gth equals buff.readInt, and then we need to go through a loop, so for I int I equals 0, I plus is less than length I plus plus. And we're going to do what? First off, instantiate the entity IDs array to the proper size. New int of length. New, not net. And then we can say entity. entity IDs I equals buff dot read int go, and that takes care of all of that. Need to watch one of my own tutorials. It's handy when you record yourself, huh? So we just need the entity ID in this case. So that's going to be an entity ID array. And that gets put into entity ID. Get rid of this. And then writing to it, we say, what? First we write the length of the entity IDs array. Then we do a similar for loop, only instead of reading, we write.
It looks like you still, or at least on the version that's on the build server, you don't have a farm block and you don't have a lumberyard block.
I don't think I've made those blocks yet.
Okay, I need that before I can actually make any more structures that are worth saving.
Farm, lumberyard. I guess for now we can, if you've got it built, we can put them wherever you need them and stuff, and then just leave that block blank.
Yeah, I can put them over here, but I don't want to save them with the proper names unless they're actually ready to go. Because what you're going to have to do is, on the server, there's like a barracks 2 for red, and then there's like all of the mine sites with a 2 value instead of 100 or 0. You don't want to use those.
Gotcha.
The 100 and 0 are the correct ones, and all the other with any other number values just aren't correct. I don't want to clutter up the number of structures files that you're going to have to go through. So I won't save them, but I'll put them in.
Yeah, put them here, and then when we get the block added, we'll add the block and just hit save. If we got them all set up for it, right? Because the block isn't going to do anything on this world. That's the whole point in the config. Okay, so this should be wrong. We need to write. Okay, so we need to write a buffer. Write buff. Write int. And it's going to be that specific value. Right. Okay, so that's all good. Then we need to create a client packet handler with that name. That's going to be a public static void this name. It's going to take in an array of entity IDs. Int entity. Okay, and back over here. Give it that name again. We give it our entity ID array. Okay, then in our network handler, mod network, there we go. We put this in here as player selection change packet to client.
Your entity will drown if you place it next to running water. It won't stop the water.
Yeah, it makes sense he won't stop the water to me. Because he's not a block. Wonder if that's how shulkers work. Because they're not blocks.
Yeah, I need to redesign the farm because I had a hit point on the back of it.
Shulker. Oh, he instantly teleports out of the water.
Oh, that makes sense because that's what Endermen do.
Yeah, true. Okay, Spiderman, have a good night. Okay, so we should be set up to have a packet to send to the client that says what happened. Just this. No, it's this. Did I write the wrong thing? Oh, I changed the wrong code for real. Let's do it this way. This is the one I should have been changing and I didn't change it. So this all needs to go back into where it was. These need to be what theirs are called. That's correct now. And then this one needs to take this code. With this name. Okay, so player ready up packet to client. That is not the correct name of that. It should be. Are you freaking kidding me? Is it? What? I'm beginning to not like this program. I think it's screwed with my code when I don't want it to. That should be the name of this one. Player selection changed. It needs to call player selection changed, which currently has the wrong name. Are you gonna air off now? What the heck? Did it just delete half my classes? Where'd they go? Yeah. Uh-huh. Or they better be there on disk or I'm gonna be a little ticked. They are not. Why is this in client? Oh, okay. It keeps jumping me around in what file's selected on its own, and it's driving me bonkers because I can't figure out what I'm looking at half the time. So it's not the same thing as I expected it to be. Send team info packet to client. Okay, sure. You know, that actually does exist. IntelliJ. I don't know if it will be okay. I might have to go back to Eclipse and just deal with Eclipse. Can't find symbol. Can't find what symbol? Player ready up, packet to client. 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 That's not right. What? What? Okay, easy way to fix this. This is a new file. We want to keep that one. We do not want to take any changes that were made to this one. Discard its changes. Play ready up should be discarded. The networking one, that is correct. We want to keep that change. The client one, that's all fine. Unity client packet handler, we added a new method. Utilities, okay, so that should take care of it all. Oh, you made a bug, huh? How'd you do that? I get that it's negative and it shouldn't be negative, but what'd you click to get it to go negative? Is it on the server?
Stop telling me that this class doesn't exist, because it does. I know it does.
You know what this sounds like?
Time for bed?
I was gonna say future text problem, but that I guess that's the same thing.
There you go. There we go. That's better. Now it's giving me like fake errors for different reasons.
Yeah, that was a bug that Tinkerbell found, and it is on the server.
Okay. What did she click to get it is going to be the hardest thing for me to figure out.
I'm trying to figure that one out. Let's go with that. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
I didn't do anything. I clicked on to get XP.
Because she
That's
clicked
been
on
a
it to
while.
get XP, and
That's been a while. That's been like a half an hour, and I just been here sitting here watching it.
I think I might know why. Did it have a lot of XP in it?
it might have.
I mean, like a lot, like millions of XP.
I don't know.
Maybe even billions or trillions. It might have
Although-
overflowed and went negative.
Well, if it overflowed and went negative, it went a full circle. Let's go with that.
Right, what it would do, it was go like 32 million or whatever the max integer is in Java, and then one more being added to it would make it go negative. 32 million negative, and then it would
We
start
never put
going.
a stop on the overhead.
No, I never put check to see if it go that high because I didn't think anyone would actually go that high.
This is on the test server right at the Enderman farm, so
Hey, I found something.
yes, you did find something, Tinkerbell. So it's actually counting upwards now,
But I can't click on it.
but yeah, that's going to take a long time.
You can't click on it because it's negative. Once
Just
it
go
goes
ahead and-
positive again, you can click on it.
Just go ahead and destroy it, and it's going to have no saved data to it.
Destroy the middle block.
Just the middle.
Yeah, that's the most likely thing to happen is that.
Yeah.
Normal.
Okay, now you can compile? No, you still don't compile. What now? Mod network.
Wasn't we going to add some type of bakery and walls for defense?
Bakery.
Yeah.
What would the bakery do?
Turn grain into bread.
Oh no, I was
The
just
bread
gonna do
goes to the
farm.
troops.
Farm goes. Cut the middleman out.
Oh, stick a fork in the middleman at this moment.
Yeah, because it's not gonna. It just means you have to have 2 blocks in the game, and then there's 2 resources, and it doesn't give us anything extra or different by having that extra one. Mod network is airing off for that. Oh wait, this is airing off because this is mod network. That's mod network too. What the heck? They're both the same class? Both in the same class. So what's the error in here? Changed values never used.
Never do this.
That is not an error.
Never stick decimals with half decimals. Fractions.
And this is force it to recompile. There. Right? No? Maybe? Init mod network. You can't find mod network. But mod network's right here. And is a valid thing. And even has a semicolon to the line. It did that thing again. I had to put a space in there and then delete space and it worked. How much time did I waste on that? Because it needed a space put in there to be removed just to notify that it was changed. And then
10 minutes.
And the worst part is now I've lost my train of thought of what I was working on to make the rest of it actually work for us. Okay, the player selection. So we're on the client. We know what should be selected, and that's in the actual selection. So TS RTS dot player selections dot get. We don't have a player's name, but we can do Minecraft. Okay, so we have to do some coding here. So if Minecraft get instance, sorry, is not null, and Minecraft get instance player is not null. So basically, is the game starting or not? In this case, we don't want it to be starting. We want it to be started for this to be acceptable. Okay, so now we can say that get scoreboard name that could be a string. Scoreboard name player scoreboard name equals that. We need to check to see if it contains it. No, we just need to put this. Okay. Put what the selections are. PS equals new player selections.
Yeah.
PS dot select units dot add. Okay, and then we can say for it's less than entities ID dot length. Entities ID I. Okay, and then we add PS. Okay, and this gets put into the packet handler, which we already did build. Then we need to call this thing, which is going to be on the server side under the selection piece. So in the select and on the deselect, we need to pass to the client what we selected. So player, let's see, mod network dot send to player, and we're going to create a new what is a new what? A new player selection change packet to client. And that takes in an array of entity IDs. So we say this dot didn't even copy, come on, dot to array. Nope, that doesn't work. What's it return? Returns an array of objects, not an array of integers. To array, is there a different typed one? Integer. Expected the arrow symbol.
Alright, Tech. Every building has been saved. Everything's been placed over here except for the stables, and everything's been saved except for the ones that we don't have the command blocks for, or control
Awesome.
blocks for.
Gotcha. So you can put those there, okay.
So like the ruined states have the void blocks already, so they're technically complete, so I saved those. But these, I can't replace the orange wool, so you shouldn't see a yellow 100 file for the farms. But I did have to save a red one so that I could copy it over easily.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to
But
grab them yet because I know that
I'll
those are needed for the tile entities first. Lumber mills look cool.
Yeah, I'll do the stables, but the stables I'll want to do 3 states for, so it'll take a little bit longer. Well, and we're not gonna have stables on initial release anyway.
Yeah.
Or well, initial playable version.
Yes. So I understand we need to remove any of the files that are not 50s, 100s, or zeros.
Yes.
Okay.
And the ones that have like wood 2, you can delete that one too.
Yeah, any of the ones that are like like that don't follow the normal naming standard, we'll get rid of.
If they don't follow the naming convention, you can delete them. If they follow the naming convention and they have a number, a damage state value other than 0, 50, or 100, you can delete them.
Okay.
We're not doing emeralds for initial, right?
Yeah, we don't need them for initial.
Okay.
Still doesn't like this, okay. I need to get this into an integer array then. Dot size. So we say int array temp IDs equals that. Int of that size. And we say a for loop for temp IDs dot length. You say temp IDs I equals at dot get I. And we can pass temp IDs into this. Come on, how does that turn into temp IDs? Copy that part of that line, I copy it and paste it there. Now it worked a ton, whatever. That's a player entity? What? An array of those. Why are you airing off? Send to player. Takes a message in my network cannot be applied to player entity. Oh, so we need to cast it to server player. Okay, so now we select a unit, it tells the client what's all selected and that should be set. Then on deselect, we should do the same type of deal. After the loop. And you're giving me errors now. Oh, new. Which means this was an error as well. Compiling, and it actually compiles. Cool. So let's try and run this and see where all of it might crash, if at all. Might need to bump that bar up a little bit so it doesn't take up the tab screen. Oops. You're removing them so you don't get confused which one's which later. That makes sense.
Yep.
Hey, it listened to you. It's grass. game is loaded finally.
Do not delete the stable if you want to delete some of these. Just don't delete the stable.
Yeah, yeah. Because it hasn't been saved.
Well, I guess it's saved. It's just I haven't moved it over.
Cool, we broke it completely now, guys. Can't even tell we're selecting anything. So.
What I break now?
Oh, I did the breaking. And they are selected, you just can't see that they're selected, that's all. Slight difference. Okay, now you guys are selected. Control Z. I'm gonna unselect you and you. There should be 2 selected. There is 2 selected. Awesome. Now I do Control or just Z and move you here, and it's just those 2 because it didn't do doodly. I'm gonna unselect you and unselect you. Can't move you around. I hit Z. It should select everybody, but it doesn't do doodly. Wait, that kind of makes sense. So I didn't put the packets to send what's selected into these commands. And this is only happening on the client anyway, so the server doesn't get notified of it. But it should, so that it can save it on the server. Or do we care? I don't know anymore. I really don't. Okay, this needs to be a stopping point for this part of the code because I'm burnt out on that. Set up packet to notify client of selections. Okay. Now, instead, those 2 blocks we needed to add, a farm and a lumberyard. Is that what we're going to call them? Sorry.
I have called it farm and wood.
Just wood.
But there could be issues if you're calling something wood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different namespace, but
True.
it's still weird. You could just call it lumber.
Let's do farms even the same as Minecraft. I guess that's farmland.
Is somebody willing to
That'd be
trade
fine.
sheep for wood?
Nice.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Farm block it is. And farm block needs a new name. Farm block. We'll go ahead and create the other one too. Farm block. I'm still gonna call it lumberyard in my code, and then the name of the structure can be different. That's fine. They're not.
Yeah,
directly
I
tied
named the
together.
structures based on what the resource is that they give you.
Yeah, because all the mine sites are just mine sites, right? They're not different blocks for me.
The block is mine site, but it's called stone, iron, gold, diamond.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. They're different, so it's fine.
But it's not called like diamond mine. It's just called diamond.
Yep. And if those names are in that spreadsheet, that's all I need, so I can find them. I'll see the file too. It's fine. That's the farm blocks. Let me look for barracks anywhere else. Okay, we'll have to change that. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and put the other one in because that was all we had to do for the block itself. Lumber yard. Let's go ahead and kill this because we don't need it, right? We need the tile entities for these.
Alright, I think that'll do it for me tonight. We've got most of the structures ready, and then I don't think we really need to change any more textures right now. We've got everything functional, right? Well, once you add the farms and the lumber, I'll need to do those too.
Yeah, those two blocks will need blocks, or textures. I thought there was another one, the archery range. Do you have a texture for that one? And it's not
I don't
something
have
to
a
do
structure
tonight.
for that one. So no, I don't have a texture and I don't have a structure, so that's one thing that I'll probably do.
Okay. Like I said, don't worry about doing it tonight. It's late enough.
No, I'm not doing anything else tonight, but
Yeah.
The archery, so we need an archery range building for each color, and we need a ruined archery range for each color, and we need archery range textures.
Yes, and farm textures,
Farm textures and
lumberyard
lumber textures.
textures. And what I'll probably end up doing is the builder item will have the same texture as the block, because there's no reason to make another thing for it. And it'll just be fine then. So that's just a bunch of JSON creation.
Yeah, once we get that, we have all the structures and textures that we need to play.
Yes. And then from my side, obviously all the blocks need to work because they're like, I'm gonna put a placeholder in for right at the moment, and then we'll add the logic for what it should do later. So that'll be one piece, and then the economy actually needs to have value, right? Right now you can collect currency, but you can't spend it on really anything other than buying blocks, the builders in the town hall. And so what I'm saying is the troops need to cost for the archers, the minions, etc. So a lot of config setups and stuff like that. Technically, the control groups don't have to be in for the initial playtesting. It'll just make it easier if we do. Okay, so
Is there a win condition in the game state?
no, not at all. I guess that would be important as well.
Well, so initial testing, just so that we could all build structures and stuff, we don't need control groups and we don't need a win state. The initial test would just be, can we get 4 people on 4 different teams building out these things in a flat world, earning resources, spending resources, and then just fight some troops with each other.
Yeah.
We don't need it to actually trigger the game state change, and we don't need the control groups.
Yeah, when somebody's town hall is gone, we can just say game over.
Yeah.
Well, for that person.
If we could get all of that next weekend, that would be a pretty big accomplishment.
It might be a
Pretty
pretty big, tall order because I think there's lots of bugs in this still that need ironed out to make it even kind of semi-playable. But I will see what I can do. What is next weekend? 16th? Gosh, we're like 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, it's basically the end of the year.
I know. Let's just quit and not work anymore this year, huh?
Once you get through Halloween, it's basically next year.
I took my usual like 2 weeks off at the end of the year too. And by that I mean the actual end of the year, not the after Halloween.
The last 2 months of the year.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I actually had that happen for a while when I was a consultant. It wasn't the best of times for the company that I was a consultant for, and they're like, yeah, the month of December, we're not going to have you work, but we want you back in January. Because they'd spent too much for the year.
Yeah. Kind of stinks as a consultant though, because then you don't get paid for that.
Right, but after it happened the first year, I kind of took it as they're going to do that again to me next year. So I set money aside and didn't take any time off, which isn't paid anyway, right? So that was my vacation for the year.
Yeah,
Just
we've
took them
got
all
guys
off.
like that do contract work for some shop houses, and they come out, they'll work for us for a while, and then we'll send them on, and then we'll have the same guys like rotate back through like
Yeah.
6 months to a year later. All right, I'm out. Have a good night, Tech.
You too. Night. Let's refactor that because I want this to be consistent with the naming convention I've been having, and that's not right now. So underscore the middle of the yard. Lumberyard, lumberyard. What are these? These mine sites. There it is down here. So we need to do the tile entity setup. And our name is farm block. And lumbernard, lumberyard, lumbernard. Okay. Farm tile entity type and lumberyard. And lumber. What are you airing off for? What the heck? Annotations are not allowed here. Yeah, they are. Oh, there's an X character there. Okay, so then we need to register Z blocks. Farm block. Lumberyard block. And do the same for their items. Farm block. I should do them in the same order, huh? And this is registering the tile entities for these, so we got to do that as well. Farm tile entity. Farm block. Lumberyard block. Ta-da. Then in our proxy, I don't believe we need anything, but I always like to check it because when we don't have it, it's funny. Okay, we're good. So that's our blocks. There's no new items. We don't need to set up any new containers because we didn't put GUIs on these yet. The mod items doesn't care. I think we might have it. So let's try and spawn these things in. Or run the game, I mean. See if they're there. Fingers crossed. Yellowstone uploaded their Twitch stream finally. Cool. Getting these blocks added might be all I do tonight, because I think I'd rather get a good night's sleep and then work on it during the day sometime tomorrow than stay up all night and sleep half the day away tomorrow. Okay, so we've got an air block and a lumberyard block. How does that have the word air? Is that actually air? It is air. What the heck? So that's clearly wrong. Why does it not like this? It's never used. Oh, okay, so we got some airs in the tile entities then, if that's the case. Because that should be there. And this one should say lumberyard. Okay, so let's look for barracks. So we're creating a barracks container. That's fine for the moment. That's it. Let's look for barracks in here. Same deal. And here we're saying farm block is our registry name. And lumberyard is a registry name. Registry name farm block. Registry name farm block. Oh, did we not? We didn't add the farm block in right here, that's why. That'll do it. So we need to register this one, add farm block and lumber block in shell of T. So for anyone that's still watching, here's all the different building structures set up that we have so far, and it looks pretty cool with all the 4 color variations for every building and the different damage states of them as well. My Galfast server. Multiplayer. Oh, not multiplayer, single player. I must be getting tired. I'm doing stupid things, clicking on buttons without thinking about it. So our farm block is now a farm block, and our lumberyard is a lumberyard. Cool. No textures. The colory, gooey things there, though. That's fine. Cool. So those are a thing now. Don't have all the JSONs, but that's okay. We aren't gonna get to that tonight. We'll do those later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you
subscribe now.
And I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody.